From scamming your own fans to committing fraud or a potential misdemeanor and being so dishonest to a bunch of people, lying and not caring about your reputation, this is the full story of snowwtech. Now, if you don't know who snowwtech is a New Zealand tech talker with around 332,000 followers at the time of recording this. And he's recently been under the heat. He's been not only scamming his fans, but being dishonest and potentially committing fraud, which is a felony/misdemeanor, which is, because snowwtech is 15, he can't get the full jail time, but he can get at least 10 years. And yeah, snowwtech admitted to it in text form and in video form. There's so much more to cover, so we're going to get into it all. Now, I got into contact with Snow, right? And the way he handled things was really immature. Snow is 15 years old, keep in mind. He's a teenager, high school teenager. And he treated the situation pretty immaturely. Like, he had one of the weakest arguments ever. Now, I started talking to Snow by just saying, why the hell did you do that? And explaining what he did. And he just replies with, son, and crying. I said, scammer, you know what you did. And he said, that's not illegal. The Xeno guy is weird. I said, it's fraud, which is illegal. Then you know what he said? He says, he asked for $400 back and said it was my fault. And I said, just give everyone the money back and it's your fault they're getting scammed. Which, you're right, it is his fault. Snow proceeds to just say, fans, none of them followed me. Randoms, answer me, I said, because I asked him, did he scam his fans? And then he said that he said randoms that I'd never seen before. Did you or did you not scam people by doing fake giveaways? Asked. Answer me, he said. He asked me to answer me, and I said, you're ignoring the question either way. I said, bro, did you scam people? Just tell me. And then he says, answer mine, you're ignoring mine. I said, they're not fans, but even if they're not following you, you're still scamming them. Now he said, how is it scamming if they're not promised anything? How is gifting TikTok coins? I said, you're in a fucking modded game. You acknowledge you're in a modded game. Now, next he says, say you do it in an auction style. And then he said, wouldn't it be illegal to purchase coins under the age of 18? And then, well, yeah, it is. I guess so, but you're also under the age of it. But no kid actually buys their own coins. It's actually their parents buying coins. Now, the way Snow starts to handle this next part is so much. I said that I've made a video about the situation, and everybody can tell what you did is wrong, what you did is illegal. And he says, oh, you're the YouTube guy. You sound 6 years old. That shit was more cute than scary. Shut the fuck up. Because here's the thing about the video. It's not intended to be cute or anything. It's for the truth. I don't do this stuff just for some shits and giggles. No, I do this because I want to help people and I have an interest in this kind of stuff. The fact that all you can do in this type of argument is make fun of my voice rather than taking accountability just shows that you really don't give a shit. Even if you get in trouble, you don't care. You're just going to snuggle your way out of it like you do all the time. With what? Another fake snap post like you always do? Saying, I'm sorry guys, low-key learned my lesson. I'm going to stop streaming and take accountability. And appealing everyone. Sorry for being dishonest and betraying y'all trust. Hopefully we can move forward. You do not mean any of that. Let's be honest. You've been streaming for the past week still. That was made in November 14th or 15th or something like that. And yet you still choose to stream. You don't care about the consequences. You're still streaming. And yeah, what you did is illegal. It counts as fraud, a felony, sometimes a misdemeanor, but with the severity of you flexing 4,000 per week in a Discord server, yeah, it's pretty much a fraud. And that 10 years that you said is unrealistic, it's really not when you're making that much from something so stupid. And yeah, you haven't learned your lesson. You haven't learned anything. You did this back in October, and here you are, still streaming. You're still gaining followers, and yeah, you haven't learned anything. And in general, how the heck can someone move forward from this? You can't move forward when you haven't even appealed all the money back. You literally admit to it once again by saying you guys are the method. This clip is genuinely insane.
Get that in your head, bro. You're the method. Play Tilted? Yeah, bro. I'm gonna play one more reload game. And then, yeah. You keep doing it, though? No. Not after this. No, probably not. So you admit you're scamming? Yes, bro, because you guys are all the method. The people who bought the brain rot and think that this is a terrible thing, you guys are all the method, bro. Just think about that. Was the bag worth your rep? Nah, don't worry. This happened once before, a month ago, D-Milk, where I took some.
And yeah, that clip was recorded all the way back on November 15th. So what he said, if that happened a few months ago, meaning it probably happened sometime in the summer, this is the third confirmed time that this has happened. And instead of taking accountability, Snow continues just to lie about the situation and keep spamming weird emojis, weird memes, as if this is some type of joke, because yeah, it is technically a joke. This has happened so many times where it doesn't affect Snow if it happens. So, you would think Snow would just stop talking about this. He would leave it and maybe just quit, right? He would stop streaming, right? You would think from all this convincing, yeah, but no. He states that instead, I'm gonna sue you for defamation, gang. Huh? Now, first off, you can't sue us for defamation because there's nothing false about any of the videos. Everything is confirmed. You scammed your fans. You had like over 5 admissions of you scamming your fans with the video proof, message proof, literal mod proof, everything proof. And if that isn't bad enough, SnowwTech decided to make a new account. Yeah, SnowwTech realized, yeah, his main account was cooked. And his tech videos don't make him that much money, but his streaming does. So he made a whole new channel called Azul, or Azul, I believe, or Azul. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's used for another method of just scamming. Not only does it do the same auctions, but it just has this weird steal a brain rot style. And the Azul account, or Azul, literally admits to it. He straight up said, I have been exposed for things I've done in my past account. I've been open for a couple months because I am SnowwTech. And people are using it for likes and views. No, they are not. They're using it for the truth. And then he proceeds to go on about how this other creator is promoting other scamming websites. Well, yeah, but that other creator isn't in the situation. The situation is about directly just you, not about other people. Bringing up other people in the face of yours doesn't make it, any better. And saying that you can move forward in the video, no you can't, because you did a steal a brain rot auction, which once again have been proven to all be fake. No matter what you do, everybody knows they're fake, because no one got their things. Everyone has said, I haven't got my things, and no one has got their money back. Zeno donated from $40 to $80, and he hasn't gotten anything. He told me straight up, I haven't got anything. Other people said that they haven't got their money back. No one's got their money or even their brain rots. No one's got anything. Not only that, but Snow is continuing to just ban people who just, speak out against him. Like, people, who speak out against Snow keep getting hit with bans. You know the video that had, the $4,000 flex screenshot? Yeah, that dude was getting hit with bans. Snow's community is just harassing these people, trying to ban them. But Snow is just kind of being, nonchalant about the situation, to where I don't really understand if the fans are doing this or if it's him telling the fans, but then him acting like it's not him. In general, the Snow situation is weird. I hope it can end in which Snow gives all the money back. As of now, no one has gotten their money back. Yeah, no one. My friend Zeno donated at least $80. He's not got any. He asked for, he asked for $40 back. Snow didn't give anything. Other people asked for their money back. Snow didn't give anything. Snow is not giving any of the money back to the people who got scammed. If anything, he's acting like it doesn't matter. In fact, in comment sections, he's just admitting he's acting like it doesn't matter because, he thinks it's not illegal. When you're making $4,000 per week, that's when it's it gets to a point where, sure, if you're making maybe little amounts of money, you can't really call it illegal. But when you're making that much money, that's enough that, someone can live off in a month in some places. But when you're making that every week, it does count as fraud. It does count as the high. That 10 years in prison is honestly really realistic with the amount that you make. Anyways, hopefully you enjoyed this video. It took a long time to make. It would really help if you commented, liked, subscribed, shared with a friend, because we need to get situations like these out there, because we don't want to keep scammers on YouTube or on TikTok, or we don't even want to keep bad people up, because this is all illegal and it's not nice. It shouldn't be taken, it should be taken seriously, Anyways, mighty out.